Hello.
GM,
GM Jose.
GM Dom, GM family.
We do have a lot of events, huh? What is up, my fellow gamers? Space gamers. Man, we need some intro music. We really do need some intro music.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hey Santi,
Santi.
What's up, guys?
I'm looking for epic intro music currently.
Yeah. How's
What is
everyone
this?
doing out there in the audience? GM,
give us your GM bros.
bless us with your GMs in the chat. Tenet, GM, Shadex, Beth,
And ladies
and
and
ladies,
sisters.
Definitely,
yes,
bro.
yes. Very hope, Ahota, absolute legend. No way you're using this one.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh my god. Classic intro music. And I remember when all the YouTube channels used to have an intro
This is the
like
most
this.
annoying sound of all time. It's not even close. Okay, I think
Yeah.
we're yeah,
Please
we're
stop that, bro.
done. Okay, once we got to that part, it's like, all right, we're done here. Oh shit!
But yeah, guys, welcome to the Atlas Brew number 119. We're talking about the DAO. As you guys know, oh yeah, I see in the chat again, Fall saying no camps today. No, man, I was sick yesterday. Yesterday I couldn't get out of bed. So
Yeah,
today there's no chance that I turn my camera on today. No
yeah,
chance. And Jose has been really sick as well. Has been fighting the sickness for a
yeah.
while.
So we are preserving ourselves. No sick team members, memes.
Yeah, I'm not sick. He could totally turn on my camera, but you guys just call me blindingly white all the time, so I'm on strike.
On strike, camera strike. No cameras until you 10. But yeah, guys, welcome to the Atlas Room number 119. As you guys know, we launched the DAO on Monday, and voting is open right now for the pips. So we'll be discussing stuff related to the DAO, briefly discussing probably the pips that we have, and then getting on some of the ideas that are out there. We can review them here at the brew
Santi,
and give
bro,
our opinions as well. But yeah, just
I can't believe you just announced it like that. Like, voting is now live. Bro, this is
yeah.
huge. This is
Jose,
huge,
get him,
bro.
bro. Get him, bro.
Bro, we have been waiting a long time for this. We have been doing Brew's theory crafting about this moment for a while now. Come
You're
on.
right, Jose. You're right.
You know,
You're right.
L-
You're
l-
right.
let's give them the link, bro. Let's give them the link. They
Yeah.
see for themselves where we
Yeah,
are right now.
I'll put the. Okay, you got it. You got it. Nice, nice.
Pip 1 here and Pip 2 also up for voting. And
Yeah.
yeah,
You
man.
make sure to go both, guys.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have 100% yes vote for Pip 1. What is this one?
Oh yeah, we'll dive into that in a second. We'll dive into that in a second. As always, we do some noteworthy news in the beginning. But yeah, the first noteworthy news that we have for today is the roadmap updates. Don't we push the update to the roadmap page, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There was a lot of changes. I just watched a video from Metaverse Explorer, and he looks for a date when you open the card to know if it's new. There's some cards that were just updated, so there's a lot of new information. So if you're going off of kind of what he was doing, don't do that because there's a lot more new information than he saw. But I guess I'll just give a kind of TLDR of the roadmap changes, which is our release schedule was going to be release 2.2 into preseason into season 0, and now our release schedule is preseason into season 0, and preseason will have a private release, and then we'll finally be going public access with preseason as well. And you'll be able to see, so if you go to the roadmap link, it's in the last announcement in the announcements channel. You'll be able to see exactly what's going to be coming in preseason and exactly what's going to be coming in season 0. So preseason is going to be Project Gallia, the Oni CSS auction. It's going to also be more PvP and PvE game modes. So PvP game modes are going to be like some game modes we've heard Dandy talk about are like TDM, smaller surge game modes, VIP, that kind of stuff. So a lot of cool stuff there. There's a lot more information there. Also, I added a couple ships that would be completed as well. So a new one in preseason is the Pierce F4, and then there was also a bunch of new ships added to season 0. So I think it was the Two for Feist, it was the Ogrica Thripid, I'm blanking, but there's more ships too. So just make sure if you're interested in exactly what's coming in preseason and season 0, go check out the roadmap. It is in the last announcement in the announcements channel.
Yeah, let's link it as well in the chat for people to go and check it out. And also we will have a brew next week, guys, where we will dive deep into it. This is just a quick TLDR from Dominic Bain, but I just posted the link in the chat for you to mark as interested. Go and mark as interested to the next brew, where we will be diving deep into the roadmap updates and everything that changed. We can go card by card, right, Dom, on everything that changed.
Yep, exactly. There was a lot of changes, so if you want to get the inside scoop on a lot of exactly what the changes are, then definitely come to the next brew. Is Project Gallia going to be only PvE or will it have some PvP too? So I mean, right? It is Project Gallia in preseason going to be PvE and PvP? I'd imagine it's probably. Actually, I'm not going to talk out of my ass. I don't know. But in the future, obviously, there's going to be PvP. But
Yeah.
preseason, not too sure.
Yeah, we can ask. We can ask. Another thing is, of course, the town hall that happened last week. You guys can catch the recording on Star Atlas TV. Shout out to Star Atlas TV. Multiple people recorded it.
There's a bunch of recaps too.
Yeah, a bunch of recaps as well. I think Beth did one. Well, Metaverse Nomads discussed it. Also, Metaverse Explorer. So, Beyond the Horizon, I think, as well. And then, yeah, a bunch of recaps that were written by Afia, also the hologram. So, yeah. KeplerNet translated to Spanish live. That's huge.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
Thank you,
actually quite
KeplerNet.
huge.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you,
Shout out
brother.
to KeplerNet. Shout out to KeplerNet.
Hell yeah,
doing
man.
God's work, man.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, no dates for preseason, right? Yeah, we don't do dates over here. What I will say is it's coming after Breakpoint.
Yeah, that's all. But yeah, another thing, guys, is that in case you're interested, in case you're a developer, definitely tune in next week to the Atlas Developer Hour. We have a Developer Hour, the Developer Hour number 2 event next week on Thursday, where we will be diving deep into the new RPC program that we have, where builders can get free RPC codes, free RPC calls. Sorry, um, and also just you will be able, if you're a developer, you will be able to ask questions directly to our head of engineering, Brett, and also Xcode, one of our engineering product managers. So make sure to join. It's going to be a good one, and it's happening next week. Other than that, I don't think we have anything else here to say, Dom.
Nope. I
Mm,
think you got it, bro.
no, I
Do we
think you
have
got it.
the G7 code
Yes, let me share the G7 code.
for the people who ask?
G7
Pergamos.
code Bergamos.
Okay, cool. Yeah, applying for free RPC calls this report to the people who love it. Yes. It was actually that RPC stuff. If you're not a developer, you probably don't even understand what it is. But if you ever try to develop anything on Solana or on Star Atlas, um, you will see that the first coast that you inquire in is the RPC calls. And you have to pay for that monthly, and depending on how many calls you have, it's the amount that you have to pay. So you're kind of prey of your own success, right? Like, so if you build a good tool and then you make you get users in, but you don't have like a clear revenue stream, which usually when you start the project that comes after a long time, uh, you run into costs almost immediately for the RPC stuff if you were successful at whatever you did. So that's what was happening with our developers, the community developers, were that they were developing cool stuff, but it was kind of like a double-edged sword to develop cool stuff because then you have more costs, and right now it's tough to monetize at such an early stage. So the free RPC calls should solve that for the builders. So it is pretty huge. It is pretty huge. But yeah, that's all I have on the noteworthy news, and just wanted to clarify that on the RPC calls in case someone doesn't know. But now we can dive on the DAO stuff. As you guys know, and Jose, I'll let you say it. Voting is live right now.
Boys, voting live right now. Make sure to go there, cast your vote, because those two pips that are up to vote right now, they are like the cornerstones of the whole political infrastructure of Star Atlas. So we need those approved. Once the voting window ends, we'll be able to move forward and start voting on PIP 3 and 4. So I don't know, Santi, maybe we should do a quick recap of each one of those.
Yeah, Tom, can you pull up the pips? Let's see how the voting is going so far as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that
this
will be cool.
1 second.
Putting you on the spot, Tom.
Yeah.
You know how we do.
I'll go, bro. I'll go.
But yeah, they seem. I didn't see any no votes to any.
we have abstentions.
There we
And
go.
the is asking if we vote, can we withdraw it later or change it?
Mm, good
I don't
question.
think you. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I actually. That's a good question.
You can change your vote for now. Yes.
You
I
can.
just I just almost rejected the whole PIP by trying to change my vote.
Okay, so you can change your vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can download the voting record. That's because we are not doing it. Um, like it's on chain, but the data is stored in there, so you can download the voting record just to make sure that like it's for transparency reasons why you can download the voting record. Oh, Jose, don't die, Jose.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
um, but yeah, we have the pip one here. Maybe just we don't want to spend a ton of time explaining again the pips, but just say maybe just very briefly what it is. It looks like it's getting approved for now. Mostly positive votes here for pip
Yeah,
one.
yeah, let's be super quick here. As you guys can see, 8 million of Polish voting power has voted in favor of approving PIP1. So it's basically my vote. I'm joking. And we have 1% abstention. No one voted no at this point. And PIP number one is basically the definition of the DAO. It establishes the basic premises of everything that's composing the DAO. So we have the wallets, IDs, we have the definitions about everything that's coming in the DAO. We have the how to create new pips, how the vote should work. It's the principle, the main piece of, let's say, the legal architecture, the infrastructure of the DAO. So it goes without saying that this pip is fundamental for everything that we are doing here. So we need to get this approved so we can start the other activities. Everything is dependent on this pip.
Yeah.
And pip number two uh, is the Don. Can you go to pip number two, please,
Mhm.
just so we can see how it's going? Yeah, pip number two uh, talks about the Star Atlas Foundation, which is the legal branch in the real world of the Star Atlas DAO. The foundation is the one that will be signing the contracts, is the one that will be legally liable for the decisions of the DAO, and will make things move forward. Uh, so it's like the first piece, it's the real world phase of the Star Atlas DAO. It's the one that will be executing the decisions that you guys have passed through your pips. And yeah, it's the starting point of the legislative process as a whole as well. So this PIP is also being overwhelmingly supported by the current voters. And as soon as it's voted together with PIP 1, the voting, you can see the voting period, it will end in 13 days, for almost 14 days, 14 days. And as soon as this votes ends, we go directly, if approved, we go directly to PIP number 3 and PIP number 4, which are the next steps of the
Yeah.
founding documents of the DAO.
Yeah. I'm interested. I'm super interested in pip number three and how that's going to go.
Yeah,
Lots of questions that we received from people asking how the council is going to work, what are the responsibilities, and all that. Um, and Dom, you're screen sharing something from
yeah.
Discord.
Oh, what the hell?
But yeah, a lot of people were asking like how the council stuff is going to work, like why is it worth it to run for council, and all that. In we covered it during the last event, but as you guys know, there will be a campaigning period for people to be able to basically position themselves on why they should be elected, and then there will be elections that end close to breakpoint. I think a couple days before breakpoint, if I am not mistaken. So mid-September, and we will have the council members, and the council members basically will have to take care of the pip life cycle, and how the pips move forward, and if they make sense, if they not, if they are compliant to the current stuff that we can approve. So I would love to hear like if anyone is thinking right now of running, and I saw in the chat a couple of the guys that I think that may be running. I am curious if they have made a decision on that, or what is blocking them from making a decision on running or not. And if someone wants to come on stage, you're more than invited right now. Like, we want this to be a conversation. Um, and it's anyone that wants to come to stage, wants to raise their hand, is more than invited to come here with us on stage. But yeah, I'm super curious about that. I see Jithblade saying that he's running. That's pretty cool. Shadix, no, support line may be running. I don't know, support line if you are. Would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, support
that's
line is
all.
running. Nice. Nice.
Super
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah, and Senti, it's super interesting because at the same time as people are moving forward with their campaigns, we can already see the alliances forming on Discord channels, right? We have some guilds, some decks that are already plotting support for some candidates. And man, for me, this is super cool. Like seeing people moving the backstage, forming their political alliances in Star Atlas, understanding the importance of the DAO for the future of our ecosystem and for the guild's affairs in the future. So, yeah, man, super exciting to see the political landscape of Star Atlas taking shape, man.
Nice. Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the very first baby steps of it for sure. But yeah, looking forward to seeing who's running. And I love to see that some of well-known, very well-known names in the community are going to be running. I wonder. I see Krix in the chat. Krix, are you running, my friend? Just asking him on the spot. No comment.
Oh,
Ah,
look
wow,
at
wow.
that, man.
That's a
Look at
political
that.
answer, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's a political answer. Yeah, yeah. Somebody proposed in the DAO. I see someone saying, I proposed to the DAO to buy Dominic Baines some tan lotion. Somebody
Dude,
proposed to
Right.
make Dominic it suck.
these Dominic pips are crazy. Eating a sock and not being white. Those are the pips so far.
Oh, Brian came in spicy. If we can get a single good pip idea in the next week, maybe I will run. Not keen to be a babysitter. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Brian is
Wow.
spicy. Spicy, Brian.
Yeah, yeah, very spicy. And I think that's a good thing that we could do right now, which is review some of the pip ideas that are out there, get some thoughts from people on them. If you can find all the pips ideas on the pip idea channel, I don't think we can stream this, Tom, right?
Nah, I'd be streaming my whole Discord.
Yeah, you'll be streaming the whole Discord, so that's not good. But I see some of the most active, recently actives. We can get on some of them and see what people think on them. If you guys are cool with that. But I
Yeah.
see, yeah,
Before we start, Santi, I'd like to point out that I have been very positively surprised about the community participation on the Pip Ideas channel. Like, we have over, I don't know, 20 Pips ideas already. And some of those, they have over 150 comments, bro. Man, that's wild. People are like getting engaged and discussing and proposing ideas and defending their ideas and voting on sharing how they feel about the proposals. And man, this is like what we envisioned. So things are starting to move, like people are participating, even now that we are just on the baby steps, like the first steps of the DAO. So yeah, man, I'm looking
yeah,
forward to see how things will move forward once we have community peeps being appreciated and voted on.
yeah, no, absolutely. I love to see that, and to see the engagement and just people proposing, even though some of them are not really executable, let's say. Some of them can't be done. it's good to see things are moving, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe each one of us can pick one of them to get started here. I have one already in my mind. If you guys want to allow me to start here.
yeah. And I think we should clarify here that we are representing our views and not like automata as a whole. I think it's an important disclaimer here when we go
Yeah.
through some of these pips.
Yeah. And we'll try to be as neutral as possible, right? We are presenting on the behalf of the people that propose it, those ideas. And if you have proposed any idea or you have a PIP idea that you want to share with the community, this is a good moment for you to step forward. Raise your hand, come to the stage, and defend your views for the DAO.
Yeah.
Like, you are more than welcome to do this. So, Santi, one idea that caught my attention. I mean, we have many of them, but one that I feel could be super fun is the golden ticket idea or concept back to Galia. Nakar from ECL proposed bringing back to life the most famous lottery in Galia will help lowering the LP now factions and can be lucrative for winners and for the DAO. The DAO would craft the items in game and would purchase the prizes. Man, this is interesting. I mean, I had lots of fun during the gold era, during the gold ticket era. So the DAO can be one of the proponents of this idea, right? This is within scope, I guess. So this is something super fun if people like this kind of thing. As long as Sasquatch is making a very interesting comment here. Uh, yeah, I mean, this could be something fun.
So it will be run by the DAO. So the DAO will have to purchase prices and then run the golden tickets. That's how they see it.
Yeah, the DAO would create the golden tickets. Uh, the system would be they would buy the prizes. The DAO would buy the prizes. They would emit the golden tickets. They would be craftable in game. And yeah, that's that's the concept. I mean, it's not. I feel like it could use some more development on the idea, but that's the essence of
Mm-hmm.
the concept.
I'm creating a poll here to see what people think.
Yeah, this is a good one.
The community will finally see how opinionated I am on everything.
Bring golden tickets back via the DAO. Question for people. We're discussing some of the PIP ideas. If you just joined, we're discussing some of the PIP ideas that were posted in the PIP ideas channel. Oh, it's getting close. 40%.
Yeah,
Oh no. I think people are going to vote. People are going to vote against. Uh, yeah.
yeah, but there is passion here. Like, I mean, seeing how close the options are, I feel this is something cool. Like, this is a cool debate on the community.
It is. It is. It is. I like that a lot from the DAO. Like I feel
Yeah,
the debate and just some interesting topics are brought up. So
I would need to see more details, to be honest. I don't. I think golden just would golden tickets be fun to see again? Absolutely, but are these ship assets or the prizes coming from us at Automata, or are the DAO buying them? Is that really a good use of
yeah,
the funds within the DAO? These are these are the kind of questions that I would be asking, and that I think a lot of people in the community would need more details on. I think as an idea, just like an idea going to a draft, I think it's worth having that vote and discussion. But I don't know. Right now, I probably wouldn't vote yes or no. I just need to see more details.
yeah,
yeah,
no, absolutely.
yeah. The committee is 50-50 on this. pretty much. 47 to 53. No wins. So
I think my favorite. Sorry, go for it, Santi.
no. You can.
I was just gonna say, I think my favorite pip idea that I think deserves the most discussion is how what the plan is to use the funds in the treasury for. And like, so this one from Drum Carlos, he was talking about just leaving the Atlas alone because the prices are volatile, of course. Things are interesting in the market currently. And so I think this is an interesting discussion, in my opinion, where should we be using Atlas or should we be using USDC? I like that discussion, and I like kind of setting the um, the expectations for the entire community on should we be using the Atlas in the treasury at this point in time. Like that's an interesting conversation to me that I think we should be
Yeah.
having at this point in time.
I am curious what John Carlos means here because it can mean like leave the boat alone, like don't touch the Atlas right now, or does it mean don't touch it to change it to other assets? Because I saw. Oh, John Carlos is raising the hand. It's
Yeah.
great.
Come here, friend.
Yep.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, of
What's up,
course, my
friend?
friend.
Yeah, no,
Welcome.
what I mean is I think it's a little too early to start depleting those funds. There's a lot of Atlas there. We have a market that is in a low point right now. We're expecting that the market is going to recover a little bit by next year, and we're going to have a lot more game and more stuff to do next year. So why deplete the Atlas now? I think we can wait a little bit for that. That's all.
Hmm. And do you refer to like in what sense not use the Atlas? Like you said you don't want the Atlas to be distributed for the projects that want the money, or like in what sense?
Well, the
Because
Atlas is there in the vault right now. I think we shouldn't spend it first thing. Just because we can spend it doesn't mean that we have to spend it. And
Mhm.
if we hold on those funds for a little while longer, we might have double, triple, quadruple the same funds, in comparison with the US dollar. So I think if we wait until next year when we actually have season zero, maybe we have a better plan of action to spend that money.
I think an
Mhm.
interesting point also that I saw, I think it was Fun Crackler who made the point, but maybe because I admittedly, my own personal opinion, not a Tominous point of view, is yeah, I think using the Atlas right now doesn't make too much sense. Um, but then Fun Crackler made the point, and I think it was something along the lines of maybe it depends on who you're giving these funds to. Like what is it being used for? Like if you're using it for maybe like a long-standing community member who would maybe hold on to it and maybe have more value, maybe value Atlas more. And maybe there was some set conditions on this Atlas is given to you, but you have to wait X amount of time or something, or something along those lines. I think that something like that would make sense. Just me personally. But other than that, like, no, I'm pretty much in the same boat. Like I said, just my opinion here, but I think using the Atlas right now at this point in time sounds like a mistake. I'm not a professional. I'm not gonna pretend I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I'm just using common sense here.
Yeah. But at the same time, like that Atlas in the hands of people that can use it is probably more valuable than sitting down. Like, and again, this is my own opinion, and we're just having a debate here, or sharing opinions. But like, if that Atlas is in the hands of someone who is maybe selling it, but building something that really adds value to the community, that is more valuable than just having that sitting down in a treasury or a vault. But I don't know. John Carlos, what are
I
your
think
thoughts
that's
on
more the
this?
case of the USDC than the Atlas, because
Mhm.
in a bull market, all the altcoins are going to follow what Bitcoin does. And if Bitcoin breaks the 100K, all the alts are going to do great. And we don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but we have a very good idea that that will happen. So that was basically my point. Like, it's so early in the development, we don't even have the preseason out yet, and let alone season 0. I thought it was a good idea to practice a little bit more about the functioning of the DAO, structure the council and all that before going crazy spending it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And I think we could achieve bigger things if that Atlas is worth more.
Yeah, I mean, at one point this year, the Atlas in the vault was worth around $5 million, I think. So I can see your point. But at the same time, like, we also that ecosystem fund as well. I think the ecosystem fund is quite important. Maybe not using it all, but well, it's not using it all. I think, what is it, like 20% of the total value in the treasury right now for the fund? So
Yeah.
Another thing, another pip that there were a couple pips about changing or moving some of the treasury in, like, from Atlas or from USDC to other coins. Like, some people proposed moving the treasury, like a percentage of the treasury to Bitcoin or something like that. I wonder if that's something that people will be interested in, like reallocating 1% of the. Somebody said reallocating a percentage of the DAO funds right now to buy a couple of the big altcoins like Ethereum and Solana, and also Bitcoin. I wonder if that's something that the community will like to see happening. Reallocate the funds to Pure.
And I see some people talking about, like, none of us being qualified for treasury management, which is completely fair. Like, maybe the decision that people make is hiring some kind of treasury fund manager for the DAO, you know? Like, maybe that's what should be have a pip on first, you know? Like, these are the conversations I want to see, you know? I want to see people having these ideas, and I want to see people voting on these things, because these are big decisions. We are at the start of something, and we need to make these big decisions, and we need to start discussing these big decisions to start going in a direction we all want to go. So if you have an idea, like, feel free, like, don't be scared to bring it up.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
John Carlos says a small portion on BTC for the long run should be part of everyone's diversification strategy, including the DAO. Somebody proposed, I think, 1% of all the monthly Polis revenue, all the monthly DAO revenue going into into Bitcoin. I think that's an interesting one. Like, just DCA forever. The DAO DCAs forever on Bitcoin.
Beth also said she wanted to hear more discussion around PIP 1 and 2. Is there anyone who wants to vote no for it? I'm curious too. Is there anyone who does want to vote no for PIP 1 and 2? And then if you do say no, I would ask you to include a reason why.
Yeah. No, that's a very valid point. Like, those are up for voting right now.
There's also discussion threads that you can see that I'll link over here.
I mean, some people voted no. 3% currently voted no to the foundation. To PIP 2. Actually, no, PIP 1, 3%, and PIP 2. Oh, yeah, 3% to each.
So if anyone, like I said, while we're talking about these ideas, I'd be interested in, like I said, if anyone wants to talk about why they don't like PIP 1 or they don't like PIP 2. If there is, I mean, there's someone who voted no, so.
And you're more than welcome to join the stage, as always. We love to hear people. Like, we will do this in the Atlas Brew Lounge, but we just prefer it here now. So
Crick said, "While I voted yes to PIP 1, I think there will need to be several amendments to it to establish additional governance procedures." Sir?
yeah. BV says he abstained because of the costs. He doesn't know the costs.
I mean, aren't those the costs that established it as 100K a year?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I know it was mentioned somewhere. The 100K a year.
Yeah, it's on the coast at the end of PIP2.
The end of PIP 2.
Yeah, and any other uh, cost associated with the foundation requires a new PIP approval. It's on the last sentence
Oh yeah.
of PIP2.
Yeah.
So if they want to use more money than the 100 volt, they would need to pass another PIP.
Yeah. So the two people that said they weren't voting for it, one brought up the needs for several amendments in the future, and another the costs, which we just covered, which is the 100K a year. So Earther is saying the foundation director can't really maintain an. It's interesting. But yeah, I don't see any other takes than that on PIP 1 and 2. They're very much needed for us to move forward, that's for sure.
Yeah, and another thing, guys, that at any point, anytime, you can propose a PIP to amend PIP 1 and 2. So if a PIP point needs further clarification, or if you want to add extra steps, you can always propose a PIP to modify a point or add something to PIP 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. That answers the question from Kriggs. Well, it wasn't really a question, but what Kriggs said, that there will be the possibility to add an amendment to PIP 1 and 2. That's pretty huge.
Also, just want to make a comment on some people. I've only seen a couple, but some people have made like gameplay ideas. And I just want to remind everyone that current stage of the DAO is more looking for treasury management stuff, not changing gameplay activities. So I just want to remind people of that.
Yeah.
What's in my brain. Also, a pip to make me eat a sock. Probably not needed. Probably not needed.
Yeah. The ones I don't really like personally, this is my personal opinion, are the airdrops of a percentage of the treasury to policy stakers and stuff like that. I just I feel like they're a little bit short-term oriented. That's probably not how we should use the funds right now, but that's just my humble opinion here.
I think there
Yeah,
was another pip. Sorry, go for it, Jose.
no, I was going to say something. Maybe you could check how community feel about sharing the DAO treasury with holders, just so we see
I
how.
was actually just about to bring that one up. Yeah, the I think who was it who made it? Andromeda. It was something along the lines of airdrop. Oh yeah, here I found it. It was airdrop of 1% of the treasury to stakeholders. This is also like opinion alert. Just my opinion here. I think this is just kind of not where we should be thinking. It feels kind of doesn't. What are we growing here? You know, it's more like 1% of what's in the Dow Treasury right now is $20,000, split between all the people in the Dow.
Yeah,
Is that
you
even making a difference? You know,
you
like
get like 20 cents.
I mean,
Everybody,
it's based on PvP, right? So
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe it can be created in a sustainable way for the future, maybe. But right now, it feels like it could be used for more for things that could have more impact than just some little money on people's wallets.
yeah, like if people are interested in like distribution of the treasury in like a regular cadence, then I would be interested in someone really fleshing out an idea, you know? Like I don't know, like 5% of Dow earnings every month go to Polish, you know, holders or whatever. And what does that look like? Like, is it weighted towards PvP? You know, like how is it weighted towards PvP? Like, I would love to see if people are really interested in something like that, like a really fleshed out idea, not kind of like a. I would like an airdrop of 1% of the treasury, just kind of like a one time event, because not only do I think that's not really gonna do anything.
Yeah, what's the impact of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like yeah, so that's what I'd be interested in. If you one of you some people in the audience are interested in something like that, then I would be interested in like an in-depth idea, you know.
yeah,
yeah, Santiago, another thing that I have yet to see in terms of ideas and proposals, but I think it would be cool to explore, is a project to fund the creation of the logo and visual identity of the DAO. Like create the brand of the DAO uh, as a separate entity in the Star Atlas ecosystem. I think this would be something cool that would allow partnerships and the DAO to have its seal of approval in different things. So maybe this is something cool, like the IP of the DAO,
yeah,
something that I
yeah.
think it's
I mean,
interesting.
doesn't the DAO already have like a different logo? It has a different vibe to it already, but
Uh,
I don't know.
it surely could be more, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, personally, I think we should just honestly focus on strictly ecosystem growth right now and figuring out kind of what that looks like. Is that is that kind of these hackathons? Is it maybe getting a creator on board with Star Atlas? Like, I think there's a lot of ideas that I could potentially see for ecosystem growth, but I think that's where the time well spent will happen. Um,
yeah. No, absolutely. I think so as well. Like that's why the ecosystem fund is coming. I'm super interested to see the ecosystem fund support like entrepreneurs in this Atlas ecosystem, like builders and stuff like that. But that's not all. Like I think things with like what you brought up, Dom, like maybe paying a content creator or creating a little fund for the internal content creators, like the community content creators, or something like that, could really go a long way.
yeah, I agree. And Craig brings up a good point. Like to avoid just randomly spending money, the now needs an ecosystem growth strategy, ideally in line with the Thomas. Yeah, yeah, that's I completely agree. I think we should not be focusing on short-term one-off ideas, and instead I think we should be focusing on in-depth strategy towards the future of growth and ecosystem growth and new players and all this kind of what does this look like? What do we want our strategy to be, you know? And these are where I think conversations will be super fun, not only valuable but also just super fun to have. Like we're growing this community and ecosystem together, and it's fun to come up with with an in-depth strategy. So, yeah, I completely agree. I think the more we can focus in on in-depth strategy, like what does the future of the DAO working on ecosystem growth, what does that look like? Yeah, anyways, I agree for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Jitflay is
Like,
saying having monthly rewards for content creators that have the best videos. Yeah, sure. And the community could even vote for who wins each month. Like, what's best content creator of the month, and then they get a certain amount of Atlas from the ecosystem fund every month, based on who performed the best, who attracted the most new users, who did the best content. Like something like that could be pretty cool, and that can be proposed. So yeah. Yeah, community should not decide that. Reactions, views, likes, comments should decide that for sure. I mean, that can be totally tracked and done. That's doable. And we have that possibility now with the ecosystem fund. Like, we just have to use it right. But it's not little money. Like, it's powerful. It can go a long way, I think.
What were some other ideas that I saw?
Let's see.
There's another one from Icy. Icy said, hire additional developers for Project Galley. I think this is something interesting as well. I liked his layout too. He has an objective, he has a how, he has two game system engineers, environment artists. He lays out the benefits, the PIP investment conditions. I like the layout that he had. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with this. I'm just pointing it out. Here,
Yeah, it's doable as well, I think. Like, from the scope of what the proposal can be. If it's a treasury spent, I think it can be done. I don't know how it will be structured. Definitely above my knowledge, but it can be done for sure. I saw a comment from Brian as well saying hire a group of developers to develop the DAO. That can also be done. From what I understand, it's doable. So yeah. Probably need to hire a CEO director of the DAO and build a team to manage the DAO. I don't know if it will work like that. I don't know. Like, it can be structured in so many different ways. It can be structured in many, many different ways. We'll see what the community wants to see, but yeah. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah, this someone makes a point like you hire additional developers and that's a big cost. It's a huge
It's a
cost.
big cost.
So that's
yeah.
that's where the strategy and actually weighing pros and cons and actually voting on this and all this stuff is gonna really be important. Some people are saying we just need to grow the treasury. Should we even be spending the treasury? These are all good questions. It's up to you guys.
Craig is asking, who adjudicated conflicts between pips? Pips are bound to conflict with one another or provide ambiguous guidance. Who then determines what is in line with a passed pip? In addition to a DAO council, do we need DAO lawyers? I don't think so, Craigs. Like, uh, I mean, the whenever a pip is drafted, one of the roles, the drafter should first of all point out any conflict of interests or any kind of conflict, and this would be, for example, a conflict between pips. Then the council members will also analyze the proposition and see if there is any sort of conflict. So they would probably send those pip backs to revision, or they would outright just deny their application. Uh, Third, this will go to foundation, which will proceed with the same exam. Then it was to go back to voting. so people can vote on and talk about that again. So there will be many windows of opportunity to make sure that there is no conflict between pips. And should there be, let's say, even after all of this, there's a conflict, uh, general law principles, I think, would apply here, that the newer legislation would uh, supersede the previous one, and other things like that, like rules specialization would derogate general rules and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, we have plenty of lawyers here in the company. We don't need to hire more. In what sense?
Let's get Kriegs on stage.
Correct.
Jose and Santi.
Hey, Craig, sorry, doing friend.
Good. Taking a lunch break. Um, no, I wasn't talking about hiring a lawyer. I was just talking about who then decides, from a legal standpoint within the community, if there is like a conflict or ambiguous guidance between two pips. Pip A says you can do this, but Pip B says you can also do this, but those outcomes might conflict with one another. And so it isn't necessarily hiring an outside lawyer to adjudicate that. It is who within the DAO or the community has the power to say which one takes precedence. And so in the first part of your statement, you said that there are many opportunities to prevent that through the process, but then you also said that the newer PIP would take precedence. So that kind of says, well, then you can conflict with one another. The newer PIP would then rule. Again, is that determined by automata? Is that determined by the DAO? Is that determined by separate quote unquote role play judges that we also elect and or appoint? That's kind of, as we expand the DAO governance system, obviously we might need additional roles within governance that aren't just directly the council. That's a little bit of theory crafting, but also a potential conflict or issue I see with the way DAOs and PIPs are proposed currently.
Yeah, this is a interesting conversation for sure. What I said is basically that we have a process that should allow us to prevent this kind of situation. If our process fails, we need to rely on something else. And there are many ways to resolve this conflict. If this was outside of the DAO, so when you mentioned a lawyer, you mentioned someone to make a legal decision based on how rules work in the real world, this would be resolved or dealt with through the law principles, like the the new law derogates the old law, or the law that's specialized on the subject derogates the law that's generic about the subjects, etc., etc. Or I think it's a even better solution, maybe if you want to stick to democratic roots and values, is that you pass a PIP to clarify which ones should prevail. But to be honest, I think this is going to be a scenario that's probably something that's not going to happen in the near term, simply because we still need to build lots of infrastructure to be able to get to a situation where this kind of conflicts happen. But yeah, I mean, we'll create the rules to deal with those conflicts uh, now, right? If you feel like this is something that we should prevent, you can draft a PIP clarifying how we should deal with the situation and have the community vote on how it will be done in the future. There's nothing wrong about that, and I feel like this might even be a good contribution to the future of the DAO and the whole legislative process enforcement.
I don't know. I'm not in the business of writing things.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
just was fun theory crafting and thinking about it, and I think Jith brought up a point like about funding rounds. If PIP 9 says we'll spend 30,000 Atlas per project, but then PIP 10 says this project needs 40, whatever. Just situations like that. It can be very simple and doesn't have to be overly complicated. That's all. But thanks for your time. I have no other questions unless you guys want to keep me up here.
No problem, friend.
Up to
Thank
you,
you
man.
You're
for
more
your
than welcome to
participation.
stay, sir. Yeah, thank you for the comments, and you're more than welcome to stay. We're about to close, though. Unless there's anything else that people here think we should discuss. Let's see the chat or anything that we missed. I think we covered most of the interesting PIP ideas. There are a lot, which is pretty cool. But I love to see
Beth
the.
is so mean to me.
I like to see the engagement that is going on in PIP Ideas channel already, and it's so early. Emperor said, "I'm truly interested in the mindset about for-profit versus not-for-profit." I think that was a conversation that was brought up during the DAO launch event, and I think Michael actually covered that really in detail on what's the view from our end on it. I know if Star Atlas TV has a recording for that. They do. I know at what part we discussed that, but linking it here. And just check for when Michael joins the stage and he covers that discussion on profit or non-profit. But yeah, guys, I think it's a good moment to break here. Again, make sure to join next Wednesday the brew for the roadmap updates. Linking it here in the chat. And looking forward to seeing more discussion in the pips that are already up for voting and also the ideas and everything. So yeah, just really looking forward to that. Make sure to go vote. Voting is live right now. We've been waiting a couple of years for that. So make sure to go there and cast your vote. Your vote is important. Your PvP matters. So go there, go to the govern page and make sure to vote on the pips that are up there. Because it's super important. And other than that, I think we can break here. Thank you everyone for joining the Atlas Brew number 119. And we'll have more brews like this about the DAO for sure in the future. So yeah. Chat soon. Bye bye.